Rhino, is that you?
There, I think I got it. Check.
Check.
This is the new software again, and I can't believe I got it working. I am still stunned. Some weeks later, I'm still stunned that I actually got it to work.
You're a wizard with technology.
I'm not sure we should go that far.
Okay.
That's a pretty slippery slope.
All right.
But I am amazed that I got it working. Absolutely stunned. Oh, here's another message. Oh, so Daniel Banks says, "Why are you in Florida this week or the Northern Studio?" And I go, "Why?" And he goes, "I didn't know if I was getting the Snowbird Lionel or the Canadian Lionel."
Apparently your temperament's different.
Jeez.
Yeah. Oddly enough, Daniel, I'm not sure if you're going to be on the podcast. I'm not sure if I'm going to get on the podcast, Daniel, or not on the podcast, Daniel.
Oh, wow.
What difference does it make? It's like
people want to know this. I can sympathize.
It's like I explained to my one of my buddies up north, one of my golfing buddies up north, several years ago when he started to venture into having long stays in Florida in the winter. And I said, well, you got to understand, don't go on vacation. You're just living somewhere else. Like if you treat it as a 3-month vacation, you're going to go snaky. But if you just treat it as you're living somewhere else, it's like it's nothing. It's not a big deal. Like, okay, up north in the Canadian studio, I can go to Toronto Maple Leaf games on a regular basis. In Florida, in this house, I can go to Disney World on a regular basis. But there's different things at each place. It's just you're just living somewhere else. That's all. Because you don't go. You're not in the. You don't have room service. You have to do your own laundry. You have to clean up your own garage, blah, blah, blah. It's exactly the same as life in the other place, only different.
You have to have you have to have one of those high quality garbage cans too, because you have to take out your own garbage, right?
Hey, you laugh, but that's since we got here. It's been a very popular item that I brought down.
I'm sure. I wasn't laughing. That was sincere admiration.
No, it sounded like giggling to me.
A hint of sarcasm.
Yeah, a hint of sarcasm.
Not me, never.
Have you, hey, Brad, have you ever ordered from Microtrains any of those passenger cars, like the Talent cars or any of those things?
I have ordered a few of them MTL, never a passenger, but freight cars, yes, I have.
Oh, are they freight cars?
I think they have both, I believe, yeah.
Oh, okay. And you've got some of them? Because it's been pretty popular from Microtrains.
Yeah, I do have some. And a locomotive and a caboose, too.
Oh, yeah? And what were they painted for? Something special?
It's just a railroad that they made up. It's Medford, Talent, and Lake Creek MTL, the same initials as Microtrains line.
Oh, I see.
Like their own freelance railroad.
Oh.
How does their locomotives run, Brad? I've been curious about that.
It runs really well. I think Kelly probably is it an Intermountain Kelly that make that, or I'm the F7, isn't it?
We do it. The motor, I think it's made in China.
Okay.
And the assembly comes to us, and then I put it all together.
Oh, so that's in house. Awesome. I was just curious. Cool. I've seen that. They've never really gotten into locomotive game too much, so I was curious how those ran.
Yeah, the one I have runs really well.
Assembled with Love by Kelly.
Yeah.
I would have been a lot more excited about it if I knew Kelly put it together.
Yeah,
yeah, of course. Then something goes wrong and you're after.
I wonder if our buddy Todd Treaster has any.
He probably does, right?
I'm sure he does.
Yeah.
I've never seen one down there, but he's got lots of stuff that doesn't even fit in his display cases. So
that's what we need. You know what we need to do is we need to find N scale stuff that he doesn't have. And then somehow verify it with his wife, Becky. And then one day when we're there and we're like halfway through an operating session, all of a sudden I'll go, oh, that's a cool car. That's a cool car. That's a cool car. And then I whip out a car out of my pocket that I know he doesn't have, and I go, "Do you have one of these, Todd?"
And he'll probably go say, "Yeah, I do. It's in a box somewhere back in the back room somewhere."
The single greatest private N-scale collection in the world.
Yeah,
is right there.
It has to be, yes.
Right there in Burnham, Pennsylvania.
Yep.
In the heartland.
I'm hoping to go get to see it next year.
Okay.
I've never seen there. We got the big Altoona N-scale weekend up there in September, and I'd really like to go to that. Do some rail fanning and look at the train show. Maybe see Todd Treacher's layout too.
If you are able to go, Chris, and want to stay at the Station Inn, Pat is going to reserve that for us again. And
when does he do that? We can talk offline about it, but is it?
No,
because I want to.
No, you might as well talk about it now.
He reserves it during the Altoona N-scale weekend.
He means when does he make the reservation? He doesn't walk up. He doesn't walk up to the door. He doesn't walk up to the door and go, "Do you have any empty rooms? Because I got 30 guys here that would like to stay." I understood his question. His question was quite straightforward.
I'm a straight shooter.
Yeah. When does he?
I never ramble incoherently.
Here's what. Well, you did interrupt me, but that's neither.
Yeah, that's true. Sorry. That's rude. Rude.
Oh yeah, Scott was going to join us too.
He's here.
He's here.
There he is. He's hard at work.
Oh, he got here late, did he? And he hasn't turned his camera off.
I can't hear him.
And you can't hear him.
We can see you.
Yeah. Say something, Scott.
Hello.
Hello.
Lionel, sorry for interrupting. I was just so excited.
Yeah. So anyway.
So to answer your question that Lionel had to explain.
Is my microphone on?
Did somebody hear something?
Scott, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Thank you.
Had a hint of Canadian.
No, this is the snowbird, Lionel.
Yeah, snowbird.
This is Florida, Lionel. Sorry.
Yeah, it's Florida, Lionel. Are you in Florida or in Canada? Why? What difference does it make? I'm in my house. That's all you need to know. I'm in my house. The bigger problem is going to come the day that I kick the bucket. My poor son's going to have 2 houses full of crap to unload. All right. So anyways, what I heard was Todd said, "Hey, Chris, if you want, Patrick Moore reserves the Station Inn in Crescent, Pennsylvania. That's stationinpa.com. stationinpa.com.
Could I make one point quick?
No, I'm quite finished yet.
Okay.
I can't believe it. What do you Yeah. What would you do? Although we've kind of had this discussion, but what would you do if you had one kid in your class that kept standing up going, "Mr. Williamson, can I make 1 point?"
Do you think I don't have them?
Well, what do you do?
I welcome their ideas and enthusiasm.
Oh, okay. All right. Then go ahead, Brad. Let's have it.
Have what?
You said you wanted to make 1 point, and I should welcome your
enthusiasm.
Todd, it was not Todd who told Chris about the Station Inn. It was me. That was my point.
Okay. Did I say Todd?
You said Todd, yeah.
Okay, good.
Thanks for double D name.
Yeah, thanks for correcting me.
You're welcome.
So anyways, Chris, I think exactly, Scott, exactly. How did your last visit to North Carolina go?
It went well.
What were you guys doing this time?
This time we did a little bit of just tree cutting and moving.
Okay. Did the people want you to do it, or?
Oh yeah,
Oh, okay.
They were more than happy. Yeah, we did. It wasn't like cutting down standing trees. It was cutting down trees that were like in the way.
Yeah, Scott just shows up. Him and another guy start cutting down. Hey, what are you doing? We're clearing the land.
Yeah. What's your problem?
Okay. So, anyways, the reason we're here, technically, is because Brad.
Here we go again.
Yeah, shut up. Just shut up.
So now Brad is actually Todd.
Yeah.
Okay. 2 D's.
Hey, you. Yeah, double D.
Yeah. Well, the problem is, Scott, I got here about 5 minutes early, and you know what they were doing?
Probably having a big conversation.
There you go. Thank you very much.
Yep.
And we've effectively repeated everything that we were talking about.
I don't think so. I really don't think so. Because I really don't think so.
I really don't think so.
Yeah. Because
Just because
the modeler simply known as Kelly kept going, it's top secret. It's top secret. We can't talk about it.
I said it wasn't for the public's ear.
Oh, well then what? Why? So it's not top secret?
No, it's not top secret.
Okay, then just tell us everything that was said, Brad.
We were talking about the special Medford Talent Lake Creek locomotives and rolling stock that Microtrains came out with, and how some people think that's an actual real railroad that existed at one time, but it's completely freelanced and made up. I think that is pretty much what we were saying, isn't it, Kelly?
Yep, that's it. We talk about
secret.
And why is that a secret?
That's not part of. That's not everything.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's 11 minutes and 30 seconds of our life we'll never get back.
That's true. That's the 11 minutes we had before, right?
Have we started the show, Lionel? Or
11 minutes and 30 seconds ago.
It's going well.
Yeah, it's going well. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. I want to talk to also Mr. Jacobs.
Yes.
I also want to talk, as well as talking to Todd about his talking detector. I want to talk to you about this load of cabs that you're making, because I think that's really cool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
sure.
I agree.
Okay, let's talk about that first, because the main reason we're here is to talk about Brad installed a talking detector. But then when I realized the crowd that we had assembled, I realized it was just going to be a big kerfuffle. Besides, Kelly,
yes,
this is on the free channel.
Ooh.
So when you guys are at Microtrains talking about the next secret car you're going to put out, do you guys ever go, I wonder what they're doing at Rapido Trains?
You're fast track to model railroading.
Whoa. I think it's Kelly's job.
I thought I was the understudy when Bruce wasn't here.
We have to.
All right, pause the show.
We got to pause the show and listen to the old episode.
No, just open up the rule book and see.
Yeah, I think Kelly was. I think you're third in the line. You're the understudy.
Oh,
okay. We can flip for it.
No, that's okay. Far be it from me to.
Well, you know what? Why don't you guys take turns? That would be kind of an interesting.
Okay, well, let's try. Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah. Okay. So you go first, and then Kelly, you do the next one.
Let's see who forgets their place in line first.
Right. That's what's going to happen.
Yes. Okay. So you go first.
Your fast track to model railroading fun.
If it's N, if it's H-O, the fast track is Rapido.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Jeez.
All right, Kelly, it's your turn.
No, it's not his turn yet. Not until I say.
I thought we were doing tryout.
Try
He's on a different podcast.
This is why he's a fiddler.
Yeah.
Fiddle me this, Batman.
Well, I'm sadly mistaken. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. Yes, we established that years ago.
Yeah. But we don't have to keep talking about it.
Tom, we are going to talk about your cabs, but now that we're on to the subject of the TableMaster, I heard the other day that the TableMaster is working on a station. He's now taken on a station for Dave Abelese.
Yeah.
That he claimed that Dave is convinced. Yeah, that's right, Mr. Jingles. Your factory got pushed back again.
Way back, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
No.
Yeah, I don't think so, actually.
I think so.
We're doing good. No, we're doing good.
So then Uncle Dave says, "Oh yeah, we're getting back on track because Scott's going to have a station that he's going to have finished for me at Springfield." And I said to Dave, "Yeah, that's not happening." No. I'm pretty confident that's going to happen. And I'm like, "No, that's not going to happen." He said
very interesting.
He said he would have it done. I said, yeah, he says that a lot of times, but I said that's. I said, Dave, you have to try to be an adult in this situation.
Yeah.
And realize what he's going to do. He's going to do like with Tom, and he's going to bring like the tower or the roof or something.
Yeah, just to get you going.
Yeah, exactly. Just to get you excited. So I said, Dave, that's no. It's going to be done. So I'm excited to see that.
Yeah.
We're not too far off from Springfield, are we? I just realized it's only a couple months away, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually, I think today is actually, believe it or not, this is a bit of an unusual podcast, but I believe today, what's so funny about that?
It is unusual.
Today is, let me look at the big book. Today is the 25th of November.
Ooh. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if today is my wife's birthday. I wonder if I got her any Rapido trains.
You're a fast track to model railroading fun.
Rapido trains, your fast track to model railroading fun.
Huh. We're on schedule so far.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Okay, so you're next.
Okay, so yeah.
Thanks for that.
Write it down somewhere. So before we go on, we got to talk because while he pretends that it's not important to him, what he's doing is dragging this Tom Jacobs Reading station. Where does it go? What town is it for, Tom?
Lebanon, Pennsylvania.
Lebanon.
Yep.
Lebanon.
Yeah. So anyways, a week ago, the TableMaster won another contest.
Oh, wow. Congrats.
Oh,
Yeah.
another trophy for the wall.
Yeah.
What contest was this now?
What does it say on that thing? Hold on.
Where were you?
That's what I'm going to tell you.
You don't remember? You don't remember?
I know where I was. I was at the Palmetto Division NMRA meeting in Greenville, and it won the Popular Vote Award.
Jeez.
That's all?
Yeah, I meant, that's all it was. Yep.
Oh, you didn't get
there were more people there. There were like 60 people there, and more people like Tom's station than they did the other stuff. So that's how that happened.
Oh, they didn't have like a structures and like they didn't have categories. They just had.
No, they just did most of them were structures though. There's this one guy that gives clinics on scratch building. His stuff is awesome. I had no idea that would outdo him, but evidently they liked it better than his stuff. So,
okay. And what are your plans? Wow. What are your plans now for getting it to Tom? What now that you've had a couple of weeks to ruminate on it?
Well, I don't know. If I can't get it to him at Springfield, the next chance will be is in May, and I don't know how that may happen because I'm going to New Jersey, but I could kind of take a big left turn over that way somewhere and drop it off.
What are you going to New Jersey for in May?
To visit Dave.
Well, when did this all take place?
Obviously, you didn't get invited.
Obviously not.
Dave Fest 2025.
Yeah, apparently it's Dave and Scott are going to have a weekend away together or something.
Well, I'm curious.
You did tell them to get a room last year at Springfield.
Yeah.
So what's this all about?
Well, I'm going on a cruise out of New Jersey, and we're going up a few days early to hang out with Dave.
A few days?
Yeah. Or as long as he'll have me.
So what is your wife going to be doing during these few days? Why am I the last?
He'll be with us. Well, you don't ever call me anymore.
I just been texting to you for the last 3 or 4 days. We've been texting back and forth.
I know, but I don't text all that stuff. It takes forever to tell. Oh, hey, I'm going to Dave's in May, or this or that. I mean, that's a lot of texting.
Well, the last couple of texts you sent me were like 4 pages long.
Yeah, I know, because I was bored.
And so so you didn't mean any of it? You were just bored?
Oh, I didn't mean every bit of it, but I had a moment. Let's put it that way. I was not busy.
Oh, okay. And you didn't have enough time to also say, hey, next May I'm going to Dave's. I
thought I would tell you when I called you sometime, but it just happened like in the past 3 days. It's not like it's been going on for months.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we just planned it over the past week.
So, what do you think the chances are of you doing this?
Pretty high.
Yeah, but
I want to get it way before then, though.
But is it the same kind of pretty high as you and I going to Dallas on the bus?
Oh yeah, it's already paid for. I have to do it now.
Oh, so is that how I get you to take me to Dallas on the bus? Is by paying for the gas ahead of time or something?
Or tell my wife that she's going to be going with us, and it'll happen.
I don't think
because she's more important.
Well, yeah, I can understand that, but I don't think
she made these plans to go on the cruise, and I said, "Hey, while we're going, let's stop and see my buddy Dave
for a couple of days."
I talked to Dave about it, and he said, "Yeah, I'll take you on the transit, and we'll go into New York and all that good stuff." So,
oh yeah, I think your wife would love riding the train with Dave in the morning, and then hanging out in the station all day and looking at trains, and then riding the train.
Kendall will.
Hang out in his office during his conference calls.
Yeah, exactly.
Meeting the whiz.
Yeah.
So
a trip highlight for anybody. Meeting the whiz.
Scott, where are you going on this cruise?
Bermuda.
Who goes on a cruise? Who goes on a cruise out of New Jersey? What is it? Is it on a garbage barge or something? Or
I was wondering the same thing. And it's south, isn't it? In Bermuda, like down by where you live?
Yeah, it's south. I've taken a cruise from New York to Bermuda, but I've never heard of New Jersey.
Yeah.
It's in Trenton.
Well.
Oh, man.
You better double check those plans.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's with Row Yourself Cruise Line.
Row yourself? Oh, very nice.
I thought it was pretty reputable.
Well, if you can't get the station to me at Springfield, then just bring it when you go to visit Dave, and I'm not too terribly far from his place, so I'll come over and pick it up then.
Yeah, we'll figure a place to meet because I'm driving up there to that.
Yeah, Tom, this Dave thing isn't happening. Don't worry about it.
So Scott, when are you going on this cruise? What month?
May the 6th, I believe. Yeah.
Do you get seasick or?
No.
Okay, that's good because I took one out of there in May or June, and all the water was splashing out of the pool. It was so bad. I got so seasick, I had to go to sleep for the whole trip.
You'll never get me seasick.
Okay.
Anyway, it's like we try to go on a cruise every 4 months. So this is one we hadn't been on. Well, they send them to you. You go for free practically after you go to the casino so much. I mean, all you have to do is
you go for free. Most of us have to pay.
Well, no. They send me these things every month for a free. All I have to do is pay the port taxes and a few other little things. I'm at 3 of us are going on a cruise.
For
$800 with Royal Caribbean.
What kind of room do you get?
A suite.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. The casino's making money off of this guy, or not? But there's a lot of money going through hands.
Yeah, I love the casino.
Yeah.
Well, what he's not telling you, Lionel, is he owns the boat.
Oh yeah.
Well, pretty much.
No. We're going down the wrong road now.
No, we're not. No, we're not.
Yeah.
No, we're not.
I have a bad gambling problem.
Oh boy.
Like bad how?
Like when I'm near a casino, I like to go to them.
What's your favorite game to play?
Roulette.
Oh, okay.
It's the only one I play.
Oh, is it?
Yep. Every now and then I'll play blackjack. Blackjack.
There's a casino in Springfield.
Yeah, I don't ever go there. I'm too busy with you guys and having fun trains. I'm not that big of a gambler, but when I'm on a cruise boat, I really love it.
Well, that's all the time we have.
Sorry, guys.
So anyway, somehow we've got to prepare Dave that this whole station at Springfield thing is most likely not going to happen.
I'm working on it right now as we speak.
I'm sure you are. I'm sure you are. When was the last time you were working on Tom's station?
Friday night.
There you go.
Yep.
You started it a year ago.
Well, I had to finish what I tore off and redid. I had to redo the ridges on it, so now it's looking really good.
real nice.
It looks real nice now. Real nice. I almost could play a fiddle on it.
Why don't you just take it to why can't you drive to Springfield? What's the big deal about driving to Springfield?
I don't know. I just don't feel like it's just like it takes too much of my time. I could be there instead of you
could be gambling instead of on the road.
Exactly.
Mr. I'm busy. No.
I am busy.
3 cruises a year is not busy.
Yep. Oh, did I tell you that I passed my exam Thursday? I finally passed it.
Your pilot's exam?
No, my mobile home dealership license.
Oh, jeez.
So now I'm going to be a mobile home dealer.
Oh, jeez.
You already are. Hover homes. Lister's Hover Homes.
Well, that's That's what we were talking about, isn't it?
Yeah. Well,
making them hover.
That's right. And at the age of 60, it's good to find a new career and start out on a new career.
Yep.
And start a whole
Keeps you young.
Oh, absolutely. I was telling that story to somebody the other day where I was golfing with my buddy John. And did I tell you guys this story already? Because I don't want to be repeating stories. Stop me if I did. Chris, you listen to all the podcasts. Stop me if you already heard this story.
Yeah. All right. I'll stop you.
I was playing golf with my buddy John, and I can remember as clear as day because him and his dad were heavily involved in local politics and provincial politics and blah, 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 to the point where I met the Prime Minister of Canada one day when he came into John's store.
Oh, wow.
That's cool. I don't remember the story. Keep going.
Yeah. I mean, if the Prime Minister of Canada was going through town, if he was conservative, the conservative guy, you had to stop in at John and his dad's store because they were big contributors and big movers and shakers.
There you go.
So anyways, one day we're talking politics and blah, blah, blah. We're going down the 6th hole. It's a beautiful summer day on a Sunday. And we got talking about business and taxes. John was always going on about taxes. And I said, John, I'm not interested. I said, I don't need to hear it. He said, well, you're going to be running that business forever. I said, nope. I said, by the time I'm 55, there's going to be nothing but dust. And I can remember we were going like right past the 200-yard marker. I said, by the time I'm 55, there's going to be nothing but dust. I'll be gone. I'll be long gone. He said, no, you won't. He says, you'll be running that thing after you're 70. And he was right.
Yeah, you just can't walk away, can you?
No, it's harder than you think.
Yep.
But I don't start new businesses. Well, I did start.
Well, I'm not really. This is just like a little.
Okay. Well, what's going to be your popular seller?
Well, it's not that. Now I can buy homes from the manufacturer at dealer prices.
Right. And pass the savings on to your customers?
To me.
Do you make those mobile home parks where the tornadoes come?
Yeah, that's why we do it.
You're going to create a mobile home park, aren't you?
Yep.
I knew it.
Listerville.
Listerville.
It's going to be all exclusive.
Yeah, Listerville. Are you going for the double wide?
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
They're really nice homes, too.
I can't imagine you would.
They have the facade of anything you want.
The facade?
Yeah. It looks really real until you start digging into it.
All right, Tom, let's get to your...
one more thing, and then I won't say another word for the whole podcast. I think I'm officially going to tear my whole layout out.
Oh my God!
Yeah, we already had that discussion, and I told you weren't. So
no, I am, because I have a new plan, and it is awesome. There's been a railroad in my backyard that has been right there, and I never noticed it until Saturday.
Well, can't you maybe just like say, I think maybe I'm going to do that rather than be definitive? Like, I'm going to have Tom's model finished by, and it never happens.
It's finished.
Yeah, I know, but that's not by. That was like 6 months later or 8 months later.
Well, it went by the day I said I was going to finish it.
Yeah, exactly. So a lot of things you say don't necessarily come to fruition. Like you were going to build Dave a whole town of buildings, and that never
I am
happened.
building.
It's not happened. It's you keep
It
putting
is.
other
It's
you keep
happening.
putting other people's stuff in.
It's happening. It's happening.
And
Don't
right.
worry. But I am doing it. I've decided to do it. Just so you know.
No.
Okay.
No.
All right.
I'm putting my foot down.
If you see this new plan I have, you'll love it. I'll post it.
I love the plan you have now.
This other one is much more. Oh my God, you'll love it. But anyway, that's for another day.
But that's because you've never. That's because you never operated on the one you have. You never put any effort into doing operations on the one you have. The one you have.
The one that I want to build will be operable.
Well, the one you have now is operable.
Not as much.
Yes, it is. You just haven't done. You have how many operating sessions have you had on the Greenville and Northern?
0.
Exactly. Yeah. So you don't even. If Marcus, who's listening right now, Marcus Newbacher, who's actively involved in the Polar Express at the North Carolina Transportation Museum, and where he got an alligator dressed as a polar bear or something. I don't know.
Yeah, he's going all out for that this year.
Anyways, Marcus is listening to this right now, and if Marcus and Seth Gartner had made any effort at all to come over and help you with operations, you wouldn't even be thinking about taking this layout out. But Marcus dropped the ball on this one.
This one, I swear, when you'll see. When you see this plan I have, you'll go, oh my God.
What's the railroad?
The Charleston Western. It nose to nose with the Greenville Northern. The only thing that separated the two lines was a property barrier. I mean, their line was the same line to a certain point. Then it changed because of a property line. It is interesting, and I never realized that was there. I mean, I always knew that was a railroad there, but I had no idea that they did what they did there.
The Charleston and Western Carolina Railway was formed in 1896 to operate the lines of the former Port Royal and Augusta Railway. Maybe that's the one you should be building.
There you go.
And the Port Royal and Western Carolina Railway. It had originally been part of the Central of Georgia Railway. But the South Carolina legislature had forced the railroad to give up its subsidiary lines. The Atlantic Coast Line Railway took over the C&WC in 1897, but operated as a subsidiary until 1959, when the ACL, Atlantic Coast Line, was fully absorbed by the CSX Transportation Company. Is that the one you're talking about?
Partly, yeah.
Partly?
Mm-hmm. The little part that I'm modeling is not really a part of all that. It was a branch line from that.
Okay.
Which you'll have to see the map, and I'll post the map. And when you see it, it is awesome. About a 40-foot shelf layout would do it.
A 40-foot shelf layout?
Yep.
Past 2 doors?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what are you going to do with the middle of the room?
I'm not sure yet.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I'll keep Traveler's Rest because it could still be part of that layout in the Greenville end, because it could still be, I could have it Greenville, Traveler's Rest, and the 10 miles in between is not there, and then it goes from Greenville to the new layout.
Okay. Is this the part that's going to go from McCormick to Spartanburg?
No, it's from Greenville to hold on a minute. Let me see if
I call it the Greenville and Western Railway from River Falls to Greenville.
Yep.
Oh, he's left he's gone over. He's moving around the room now.
Hold on.
Okay, we're holding.
Part of it was the Western Greenville, the Western Carolina Railroad. I'm sorry.
The Western Carolina Railroad.
Yep.
Okay.
Which it went to the Charleston Western, but it's the West. It's strong. This is the Charleston and Western Carolina Railroad.
Charlton and Western Carolina Railway. That's what I said.
Yeah, and it's from Greenville all the way to Malden. That's the part I'm modeling.
What about Lawrence? It's not going to Lawrence?
Yeah, it does, but I'm not going that far.
Oh, okay. All right. I don't see Malden on the map. I see River Falls, I see Greenville, and I see Lawrence.
See, River Falls to Greenville is my railroad.
Okay.
Greenville Northern, and then it goes from Greenville to Lawrence. Columbia is the Charleston Western.
Are you gonna? What about the article we were gonna write for Railroad Model Craftsman?
Well, it'll be a good one.
So what about the part that you're building now, where you just ripped out a part? You do realize you have some sort of an ADHD problem, right?
I think that's what my wife calls it. Yes.
He likes.
She says a few things after that. And I'm not going to repeat, but.
So what about the part you just ripped out and you were replacing it? Are you giving up on that now?
No, I'm going to finish it so it'll be so I can have pictures of it, because it's really coming along well.
Okay.
I started spiking tracks this evening on it, a rail.
Right.
Yeah. You got to see this. You got to see this drawing.
I don't think so. I really don't. I don't think so.
Oh yeah.
So are you going to start on this new railroad before you finish Dave's station?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh,
yeah.
Boy.
So you're going to start...
Both
Daves.
Yeah. Hey, you know what?
What other Dave is getting a station?
You do know that, right?
What's that?
I'm just thinking I have another basement.
Another basement?
Another part of my basement that this would fit in.
It would fit in it?
It's 40 foot, yeah.
So you could keep the Greenville and Northern and then add this to it? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
There you go. See, glad we talked about this before you ripped up the other one.
Where are you going to put it? In the garage?
Yeah. I don't use that for anything anymore anyways.
You've had a boat in there. You've had your daughter's car in there. You have all your tools
that's all
in there.
gone now.
All your tools are gone?
This will also be an S scale?
Yep.
You can't. You use your garage.
Well, I have another garage.
Where's the other? Upstairs where your wife keeps her car?
It's down the road.
Well, yeah, but you won't be ever working on that because you'll be down the road.
We'll see.
You're goofy. You're not well. You need to just kind of calm yourself down. Well, come on. He's not. He's got like some serious issues.
I want you to. All right, take a look at this.
All right, I'll take a look. There, all right, there you go. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. Okay, I can see it now. Yeah, that's great.
You tell me this is not the perfect shelf layout.
Oh yeah, it is awesome. I can see it now. I understand what you're talking about.
Yeah. You should be seeing it any moment now.
Oh, okay. Tom?
Yeah.
Can you tell us about this? What do you call this car that you're making that's got all the Mack truck cabs on it?
Yeah, it's basically it's a flat car. They call them Mack cab cars. What they was the Norfolk and Western took a handful of their I think they're like F20 flat cars, and they modified them to haul Mack truck cab subassemblies from Scheller Globe in Toledo, Ohio, to the Mack assembly plant in Allentown, Pennsylvania, which was serviced by the Reading. And so my friend Jace Miller from Australia, who has started his own 3D design company called Scale 3D Productions. He is one of the suppliers to 3D Central, and he has designed one of these flat cars that is now produced as a 3D printed kit by 3D Central. And so you can get these flat cars either loaded or empty. And if you get it loaded, it comes with 32 3D printed Mack truck cabs to be loaded onto this flat car. They were these flat cars would hold. They were almost like a double deck auto carrier, except they were hauling truck cabs. So it would hold 16 on the bottom and then 16 on the top on the top shelf. It was almost like a bunk bed in a way. And so it's actually really kind of neat. I've
Very
seen
cool. I'm looking at it now on 3D Central, and it's very cool.
Yeah, I've seen some pictures in on the 3D Central site, but then also in some of the books I have here, I found some actual prototype pictures. And I never knew this thing existed until Jace drew it up.
And
So
who drew it up?
this guy Jace Miller, he's from Australia.
And you're friends with him?
Yeah, he's also a Reading modeler of all things. He's modeling the Reading in Australia. And so he started 3D, designing stuff in 3D and then working with Matt at 3D Central to produce it. So far he's brought out the Reading HTZ hopper, which was the 90-ton coal and ore hopper that has never been made before, and all the Reading modelers have been jonesing to get. Well, now you can actually have one. He's also done a couple Reading Flatcars. He's done this Norfolk and Western, this Mack cab car, and he did a Western Maryland icebreaker car. So he's doing a lot of stuff that's he's making it available to the U.S. market via 3D Central, which is their whole business model, right? They do the production and the distribution, and they have other people doing the designs for them, or at least for a lot of the other stuff they produce. So
3D Central's a real going concern. Too bad we couldn't get him on the podcast.
You can talk to him.
How do you talk to him? I've tried a couple of times.
Well, I talked to him when he was up in Portland, and he said, give him a call.
All right. Have you got a number?
No,
Did you tell Lionel that?
I don't remember if I did or not. He said he was going to be out of town till November. So,
Rapido Trains.
Yeah.
You're fast track to model railroading.
Everybody wants to get into the act.
And like everything else with Scott, he didn't finish it.
Well, I didn't. I thought you were going to cut me out.
Wow.
No.
Wow. Why the heck?
I rest my case.
So anyway, I have 4 of these. I have 4 of these kits. I'm gonna build 2 loaded and then 2 empty, and run them back and forth on the layout.
Yeah.
So I have the first one. It is basically I finished the assembly. The cabs are painted, and now I was just waiting to put the decals on this car, and the decals from Highball Graphics arrived yesterday. So now I have the decals. So once I get the car decaled, then I can dull coat it. I can dull coat the cabs, and then I just gotta attach the cabs to the car, and it'll be ready to go on the layout.
And so
That is so cool.
Yeah.
And you're just going to run them back and forth.
Well, yeah.
Like, will there be anything else on the layout, or just those cars that you're running
just
back
those
and
cars,
forth?
just those cars. I got rid of the other 400 or so cars. On
Yeah,
the
why
layout.
bother?
I just want to.
Hey,
Hey,
Lionel?
Tom, quick question. Is that the same assembly plant that moved down here to South Carolina? When they shut shop up there?
It may have, yeah.
Because I know they did those cabs here, and I went, I did a lot of work at that Mack truck plant when they brought them in, and it was cool how they painted them and all. It was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, they may have gone other places.
I mean, it was a big plant here. They opened up in the early 80s or mid 80s, and I think it was from Pennsylvania.
What were you doing there?
I was doing engineering work there.
Engineering?
Yeah, when I was a draftsman.
Huh. Did you go to engineering school?
Drafting school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And how old were you when you were working at the Mack truck plant?
24, 25, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Was this before you were a pilot?
Yeah, I was a pilot at the same time.
Oh, a pilot at the same time.
Yeah, you can do more than be a pilot. You do know that.
Well, sure, but I like to finish what I start. So.
Well, I did. I finished. Yeah,
I'm sorry, Tom. I cut you off there.
that was rude.
Yeah.
That's
Hey.
quite all right.
Hey, Lionel,
Yeah.
did you know that Tom and Joe are doing a build-off?
No, I did not.
Yeah, they're both building the same car.
Okay, what car are they building?
The one that Tom just talked about, the cab.
That is a cool
Oh,
car.
okay. Okay, I haven't seen any pictures of Joe doing it.
He doesn't post pictures. He posts them after he's done working on it.
Well, so we don't even really know if he's doing it or not then.
Could be somebody else.
Well, I've seen it on his desk. So
Oh, okay.
the parts.
I did not. I did not know that we were calling it a build off. He mentioned that
It is now.
I think you're way ahead of him, though.
it's been it's been an interesting experience working with 3D printed parts because this resin does not have a lot of give at all. So you really have to be careful. You can't like force parts together. There's a lot of filing and sanding and test fitting, and you really have to be careful when you're putting this stuff together. And it breaks easy
And filing and sanding because the parts don't fit together, or what?
well, it's not that they don't fit. I mean, the clearances and the tolerances are very tight. So like what he did with all right, so there's a flat car body that's like a regular flat car, and then there's these bracing pieces that go on the ends to be the bracing for the shelf. And what he did in the design was he made little divots on either end of the flat car body, and then on this brace piece he put two little nubs so that the idea would be just to slide it down and those nubs would pop into the divots and line everything up. The problem is the bracing pieces don't flex at all so that it can pop into that divot. So you almost have to file it down so it slides in. It's just everything is designed. If it were printed in a more flexible resin, it would probably do exactly what he intended when he designed it. But the resin that these cars are in is kind of rigid. Now, Jace did tell me that they're experimenting with a different kind of resin that's a little bit more flexible. So, we'll see if they ultimately, come out with this car in a different material. But, it's workable. It's just, you just have to be very careful.
Is the resin like super, like if you got kind of like meat hands, is it going to be hard to put together?
Yeah. Yeah, because it's even got the grab irons molded in to these brace pieces and to the ends of the car. So like if you're a klutz, you could end up breaking these little grab iron parts and things like that. You've got to go very slow and be very careful.
And I can say that from having meat hands, I've thrown several 3D printed kits in the garbage.
Nobody's interested in you going, oh, I can't do it.
No, it's hard. It really is hard. And I admire Tom for being able to do it because I can't almost do it.
All right. Geez, Scott, your modeling is awesome. I'm just an envy of you. You're fishing for compliments again.
I didn't. I could.
Never mind.
I'm telling you, 3D.
Well, that I believe.
Really tough to build.
Yeah.
For me.
Well, then they would be even tougher to build for somebody of not your skill.
No.
Yeah. Guess you have a lot of skill.
No,
whether you'd like to admit it or not, as you travel around the country,
Tom, I understand.
Picking up first place. I understand what he's saying too. I just don't buy your. Gosh, not. It's like it would be like Mr. Jingles going, well, I can't really play that well, but I'm here anyways because they needed somebody to fill the seat.
Oh my gosh!
Boy.
You're down home.
Out of this one.
Your golly gosh down home thing. I see right through it. So like,
all right, that's over. Huh?
Yeah, those days are long behind you. golly gosh, you're on
That's not what
you're
I was
on.
doing. I was agreeing with Tom that those 3D kits.
They
were
are.
tough.
I was kind of thinking for myself because I'm kind of a meat hand kind of a guy, and I don't. Well, all right.
He was quick with that, wasn't he?
Well, was he? Yeah.
No, I'm just trying to get this conversation to move along to something besides me. I was like, I will not comment on what anyone says anymore.
All right. Well, it looks really cool, Tom, and you got them all painted. And is it hard?
Yep.
What kind of paint do you use?
I just used a tester's one of the little tester's models rattle cans for the black on the flat car. And then I found and this was a whole other thing because I've seen prototype photos where the cabs were just in gray primer. And then I've seen photos where the cabs were painted red. And so I wanted to go with the red because it looks more interesting than primer, but I didn't want anything that looked like really like a bright candy apple type red. So I found this can of spray paint at the hardware store. It was Krylon, I think Colonial Red is the color name, and it's a nice vibrant red, but it's a little darker. It's not like a candy apple,
It's
fire
a little more
engine
garnish.
red. Yeah. So that's what I used, and I just had a piece of masonite, and I put some painter's tape down with the sticky side up, and I stuck the cabs on and just did a couple really, really light coats, and now they're ready to go.
I saw you did that in your kitchen, it looked like, huh?
No.
That picture you posted, I could swear I saw the living room in the background or something where you were showing the can of paint.
I don't think. Let me look.
I don't think
That was in my car.
Really?
So he sprayed. Spray painted them in your car?
No. There's the
That's
picture.
weird. That's just
All right,
that's weird.
No.
Oh yeah, there it is too. I see it too, Scott. He's spray painting them in his car.
I bet you my wife would have pissed.
Oh my God!
Where they're sitting. There's a picture where the cabs are on a piece of masonite and they're sitting and they're drying. They're sitting in the family room on top of my bookcase. I painted them outside and brought them in to dry. And
I knew you did that, but I just thought it was funny.
With the red paint, it's in the car after I picked it up from the hardware store.
Okay. Yeah.
So
my wife pitches a fit if I even try to dull coat anything in the house.
So this Krylon paint is thin enough to be used on HO scale models?
Yeah.
Really? Has anybody else?
You can do a lot with an ordinary rattle can if you're careful.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
I do a whole lot with rattle cans.
Which is your rattle can of choice, Scott?
Any of them.
Any of them?
Matter. Yeah.
Not any particular brand?
No.
Okay.
Whatever company has the right color.
They must have improved them dramatically over the last 20 years. Then.
Yeah, I painted a couple of things just the other day. I painted the center beam car. I painted with a rattle can.
Wow. I'd be too scared to use a rattle can. I'd be afraid of too much paint coming out in the whole 9 yards. Okay, let's move on to seeing as how we've killed almost an hour, and it was only going to be an hour. Rapido Trains.
Your fast track to model railroading fun.
If it's N, if it's H-O, the fast track is Rapido.
That wasn't supposed to be Queso?
No, he missed on it. And Scott jumped in.
Oh yeah, that's right. Scott didn't finish it.
What did I not finish?
So, Brad, you've built a talking detector.
So you said your fast track to model railroading. You didn't put the word "fun" at the end, which is
I'm sorry. I thought everybody knew it.
Why did you even get involved?
It's the accent.
Because nobody was saying anything.
Well, that would have been the funny part of it, wouldn't it? If you just.
Well, I made it even more funny.
All right, Brad. So where'd you buy this talking detector?
I got it from eBay. There's a guy out of Kingston, Pennsylvania, who makes them, and
Oh, really? A guy?
yeah.
They're homemade, like.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, it's you want? I can send you a link if you'd like to see one of them.
Or you could tell us right here on the podcast.
Yeah, I can do that. It's basically it's made of PVC, the brackets that hold it in place, and then it's actually a really simple device. I saw it, and then I saw they had the option where you could pay to have him assemble it. If I had known how simple it was, I probably wouldn't have done that. It's basically just two LEDs. The speedometer, there's a speedometer part of it, and then there's a talking detector part of it. They're two separate circuits. But for the speedometer part, he's got two LEDs that go on one side of the tracks they're spaced about 4 inches apart. And then on the other side of the track, you put two detectors that detect the light from the LEDs that are also about 4 inches apart. And whenever a car breaks the light beam that goes from the LED to the detector, it counts. And then it also must have a timer because it can tell when the car has traveled that 4 inches, and then it will calculate the scale miles per hour. So I was surprised, like I said, by how simple it was. It just plugs into a computer, and then he sends you the software that somehow acts as your computer's ability to synthesize voices, and it sounds just like that robotic voice, that you hear in a talking detector.
Did anybody else understand that?
Sort of, but
Not really. Yeah, I think we're going to have to go over the description again.
Okay.
That sounded like a whole lot of mumbo jumbo that didn't really make a lot of sense. So it's a piece of PVC pipe.
Not pipe. No, it's the same material, but it's basically just like it's shaped kind of like angle iron. It's like it's just a bracket to hold the detectors and the LED lights.
And does he send you the detectors as well?
Yes, yeah, he sent the whole thing. Like I said, I paid extra to have him assemble it, but yeah, the everything was included.
All right, send us the link, and we'll look at it while we're talking to you.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, and then is it pretty easy to install?
Yeah. You just set one. It comes in two pieces, one for each side of the track, one on each side. And you just set it on there, and then there's a USB cord that goes to your computer to connect to the computer, and then you just have to tune the software to. You have to choose what scale first of all.
No, so the unit itself, it will work for any scale.
Yes, it will. Yep. You just have to input that into the program that runs it, and then it uses that scale to make the scale calculation. I just sent a link to it.
You said it counts axles too, or not? Just
that's the speed. If you just get the speedometer part, it will only calculate the speed. I bought the add-on kit, which also it puts two more LEDs right down at track level. So instead of having the whole car body cut through the light beam, this one only senses the wheels. So when the wheels, drive through that light beam and break the light beam, then it counts each time a wheel set goes through. So that's the separate add-on kit for the talking detector. But yes, it does. If you add that on, it does the speed. It also does the number of axles, and then it will randomly generate, if a defect. It doesn't actually detect real defects, obviously, but like on the real railroad, if you have a hot box or something, that's one of the defects that it'll throw. But that's all built into the software program that this guy, which really that's the biggest expense to this is the software to run it, because like I said, the device itself is really simple.
So you bought the dual model train speed detector and.
Yes, I got the speed detector and the talking detector both.
Okay, and that's $119.
If you have them assemble it, it would be $119, I think. What was
wow.
I have a couple questions.
Okay.
Sure.
First question. Do you have to have it running through a computer for it to work, or is that just for setup?
No, it has to be connected. It has to remain connected to the computer because that's where the sound comes out of that has the speech. Yeah.
Okay, actually out of the computer. Okay, cool. So you could always have, like, if you have the detector set up and you're during an operating session, you could have a wire to the computer, even have a little speaker right there where the detector's at, like under the layout or behind the layout, where it could spit out its response or something like that. I'm kind of thinking about how it would work on my model railroad, because I think this is really cool.
Well, the cool thing you can do with it is, if you want to use a little FRS radio, you can get patch cables to run from the microphone output of the and connect your computer directly to that radio, set it on speech recognition, and then it'll broadcast that through a radio and make it sound even more like a talking detector. But there's lots of different ways you could do it. If you wanted to just have a speaker, that would be fine too. Yeah, but the FRS radio thing would be more accurate to the prototype. Second question. You say you can change, you can program what it's going to say. So like I model Norfolk Southern, so I can say Norfolk Southern defect detector or something like that. Yeah, it would say, I don't know if you can put in NS. I don't know how many characters for sure.
Okay, so I got you.
You might be able to fit in Norfolk Southern, but I model modern day PRR. So I just have PRR typed into mine. You just type that into the program. There's a window where you type it in and it'll call it whatever railroad you want to call it. Can you say so you can type in whatever you want? Yeah, you can. Yep. And I don't know if there's a maximum number of letters, so it might take, I can try that for you sometime. It might take Norfolk Southerns if you want it to actually say.
Hang on.
I got a question.
Okay.
I still have the floor.
All right.
Yeah. Go.
Whoa. I've been waiting for a half an hour to ask this question.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm just giving you a hard time.
Yeah. And you certainly would.
Questions.
You know what, Scott? I think as a bit of a life learning lesson to Chris, you should go ahead with your question.
No, let him finish.
I don't even have anything else.
You do have other questions.
Whoa. Yeah.
Just let me know, Brad. That's cool.
So I don't go ahead, Scott, with your question.
I just wonder, what all will it say? You say it actually says things.
Like how do you get it to say what you want it to say?
As soon as the train goes through and breaks those light beams, it'll calculate the miles per hour. Then it'll do the axle count, and as soon as the cars stop going through, it senses that there's no longer a train there, and then it'll say, like mine says PRR. Then it'll say the milepost, which you can set it to whatever milepost you want it.
Our question is, how do you get it to say what you want it to say?
Yeah.
You just type it. You just type it into the program that has a window that you can type it, and you click on the empty space.
So then it will take your typed message and speak it to you.
Not a typed message. No, you can type in the railroad.
Come on. He just said you type it in, and then you said, "Can you type?" It'll say your typed message, and then he goes, "No, it won't." It's like, well, how do you get it to talk? You type in what you want it to say.
Partially, but it's pre-programmed with a lot of the stuff. So it says you can type in what railroad you want it to announce, like a talking detector does. You can type in what milepost you want, and you can also type. What else can you? There's a temperature, like it announces the temperature. You can put in whatever temperature you want it to be on your railroad that day, and I think it will also announce a cab number of your choice. But then after that, it either says no defects, or it will randomly throw one of 6 pre-programmed defects, which you can't change those. Those are pre-programmed into it.
Because I see here there's a box that says show speech. So I'm assuming that's where you type in what you want it to say?
Yes. Yeah. Where it says, let me look once.
Yeah, why don't you look once?
What are you looking at? That's what I'm not sure of.
Well, you sent us the link, and I went to the dual model train speedometer, works on GOS, HO, and N scales, and it shows a picture of what you see on the screen.
Yep.
in the top left-hand corner is 23.7 miles per hour.
Yep.
Miles times 10. And then you go down and it's train 2 speed information. And then over on the right-hand side, it says show speech. So I'm thinking that's where you type in what you want it to say. So you can
go ahead. Sorry.
So you can sort of get it to say what you want it to say, but not entirely.
Yeah, you can't type in any old thing, but yes, you do have some control over what it says.
So,
for sure.
And if you can, in your best professor mind, like is this like the 3D Central cars? Like if you've got to meet hands for a brain, you're not going to get it to work. Or like, do you need to have some sort of like it looks like? I mean, there's one picture here where there's just this massive wires that comes with it.
Yeah, that's the part that if you're afraid of soldering small components, I would probably have them assemble it for you because there are a lot of small pieces. But if you do what I did and have them pay for it, there's hardly any setup to it at all.
You got them to pay for it as well?
They paid for it?
They paid for it? How did you get them to pay for it?
That's how, if you pay, I meant if you pay to have them assemble it, then it's really easy. You just set the two pieces of it, the lights and the detectors, on opposite sides of the rail, and then run your USB cord to your computer, install the software, and tell it what railroad you want, what mile marker you want. Oh, and track number. You can also choose what track number you want it to announce, and then it randomly will activate one of the 6 defect messages. Like there's hot box detected, low hose detected, dragging equipment, high car or shifted load, vehicle imbalance, and then clearance gauge detected. So you'll get one of those 6 randomly activated. Yeah, and I don't think you can change
a whole new thing into operations.
Yeah, because if you could technically, because those, it says take immediate action, which I assume means stop your train and go back and check the car where the defect was detected. So if you really wanted to, you could add that into operations. And if somebody, got one of the random defect messages, they'd have to stop their train for a while.
Brad, go ahead, Chris.
I was going to say, Brad, have you actually operated this already, or?
I haven't done it with any operating yet, but we're going to have Pat.
No, is it on the layout now?
Yes. Oh, yeah. It's up and running.
How did you get it to make a farting sound?
It has that option. It has. There's a place where it says "play funny message," and it's got 4 or 5 different funny messages.
Why would you want to do that?
I know it's very childish.
Because I'm very immature. Yeah,
because it's engaged.
You can.
It's like why does Rapido have all those airplane quotes and everything on its locomotives?
Mm-hmm. Because you can only be young once, but you can be immature forever. That's my life's philosophy.
Yeah,
that's like I came up with a great saying there not that long ago, a couple of years ago. Your body gets old and your brain gets old, but your emotions never change from when you were 18. That's a very annoying part of the overall design of the human experience. I find that to be very annoying that your emotions don't change that much.
Mm-hmm.
As you age.
No,
that was completely off topic, but it fit in with you made your talking detector fart. So
yeah.
So the assembly of the model train speedometer is $30. Is that what they charge us? So
that's correct. Yes.
So what is the $119?
I think the 119 would be if you get the speedometer, the talking detector add-on, and have them assemble it. It would come out to 119 for all 3 of those.
How much did you pay?
That's what I paid. Because I bought all 3 options I checked off.
Okay.
So it was 100.
You got the full experience.
That's correct. Yes.
Yeah.
But like I said, I thought it would be more of a complex thing to assemble than what it is. If you've ever soldered like a hardwired decoder in, I'm pretty sure you could solder this up yourself.
So if you go ahead. Somebody was going to.
I was going to say this only works with Windows.
It does. Yes. Yep.
Oh, well, I can't get one.
Or you could buy a Windows computer.
I bought a mini PC for like $180. It's just a little. It's smaller than my NCE command station. It doesn't take up much room, and it runs everything I need it to run.
Oh, cool. That's a good idea.
Yeah. Okay. Now the other thing of it is, it seems kind of like a novelty item because it's pretty ugly. Like you couldn't put it on anywhere on your layout and have it fit into the surroundings.
Right. That's what I'm trying to figure out how to do. I think what I can do is just ditch those two plastic brackets that everything's mounted on, and get like models of the little what do they call those little sheds that sit by the tracks? One of those relay cabinets.
Why can't you just set it up like my grade crossings? It's basically doing the same thing. It's just sending the infrared from the middle of the ties up to the car, and when it detects it, it goes off.
That would probably work for the speedometer. No, because you need. Yeah, you could do that for the speedometer. I don't know if you could do that for the axle count, though.
Okay.
Plus, you should check to make sure that they're appropriate distance apart, because the PVC angle there is probably matched to the computer, so that distance.
That's correct. Yeah.
But you can measure that yourself and figure it out. You
could. Yeah, it is. I think Kelly's just saying that distance is still critical. You can't just put it anywhere.
Yeah, right.
You want because
the measurements will be off.
Yeah, the speed measurements would be wrong.
Scott, couldn't you build a couple of structures to hide these?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Won't happen for about 2 years.
Box or any little tool shed.
Yeah. But when do you think you'd get it done?
2028.
By one of the Springfields.
By one.
That's true. He did say by Springfield. The Springfield happens every year, so that does give you some leeway there, doesn't it?
Thank you, Brad.
You're welcome, Scott.
So when did going on a cruise with your wife become more important than going on a bus trip with me?
It's not.
Fortunately, your wife is the same as mine. She doesn't listen to any of these.
Right.
Well, if it's about the gambling, I mean, we do have a casino here in Reading.
Yeah,
that's true.
We have one here as well, just down the road. Those aren't as much fun as the ones
He's
on the
not allowed there anymore.
Yeah, they won't let me visit.
Can you
ones that are attached to land anymore?
I have a sad story like that.
I do too.
One of my golfing buddies, again, a different golfing buddy, but one of the guys I played with regular. I played poker at the casino quite a bit. I'd go on a Friday night or a Saturday night, and if I was nobody was around, and I'd go play poker for 3 or 4 hours, and especially on Friday and Saturday nights, because the city folk would come up. But I don't know. One day I'm playing poker there, and I see Bob. Oh, hey, Bob, what are you doing? Oh, I just came up to play, for a little bit. And I was already kind of suspicious, but I didn't really think of it. And then I went back the next night because I was by myself that weekend. So I went back the next night to the casino, and there was Bob.
Ooh.
Still sitting basically at the same machine. And I said, and he had been there, and it turned out he had ended up lost tens of thousands of dollars over the period of a few years.
Wow, that's really sad.
Yeah, those things can eat you up if you're not careful.
Yeah, you got to know what you're doing.
My best story about that is my best gambling story. We went to Vegas, and I thought I was going to be a big roller, and I went down to I think it was roulette, and it was like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I lost like $200 or $300. And I thought to myself, well, this isn't any fun. I'm not doing this anymore, because I wasn't winning anything. I was only losing. I maybe lost $400 total. And I'm leaving. But there was a guy beside me that had lost like 20 or 30,000 bucks, and he was like, "Give me another 10,000." And the pit boss goes, "No, you're cut off."
Well, I told you about my last cruise. It was incredible. I was winning. I wanted to go. I wanted to leave, and it was like 12:30, and I just kept winning and winning. And then finally, the guy comes by and says, "All right, you get 4 more spins." And I said, "Okay." And it was like 1:30 in the morning. And I just kept putting them on 23. And the very last spin, I put everything I had on 23. And I told the girl, I said, has anybody ever won on the last spin of the night? And she says, not that I know of. And it hit 23.
And you won $432,000.
Well, I sent you a picture of it. You remember?
Yeah, I remember.
That was an incredible night. Wow. I told my wife, I said, it's one of those nights when I just couldn't lose.
That's just the odd. That's some nights you hit cards and sometimes you don't. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. And then when you won all that money, you jumped up from the table and went, Rapido Trains.
Your fast track to model railroading fun.
Rapido Trains, your fast track to model railroading fun.
Is that what you did?
Yep.
Were you wearing your AML shirt at the time?
I was. I thought I sent you a picture. I know I was. Yeah, I was. I was wearing the whole garb.
Oh, there you go. The pants and everything.
Yeah, everything. I even had on my super fan number.
Wow. There you go. Well, this I'm not sure I'm sold on this talking detector thing. It seems cool. But
for a big railroad, I think it would be awesome.
Yeah, if you could hide it and not just have this big glob of plastic out in the middle.
I meant one like where you're running a lot of cars. A railroad like mine, I don't really think it would be necessary. 7 cars at a time.
Oh, it'd still be interesting. It doesn't really matter how many cars you're running. 1 car or 1,000 cars.
That's the problem I'm trying to work out too, Lionel, is where can I put it that it's not going to stick out like a sore thumb. I did see Norfolk Southern has these it's like a big shed that covers the tracks, and there's different kinds of detectors in there. So that might be a good way to hide it. Or if you just had a structure in front of it to block the view, but I'll figure something out. I might even take the LEDs and detectors out of the plastic brackets and then just set them, because they're pretty small. So it wouldn't take a whole lot to just set them, like I said, in one of those relay cabinets or something like that. But yeah, the thing, unless you have, the other thing you can do is put it in a hidden staging area if you just want to call off detection numbers, or inside a tunnel. Even if you have a tunnel on your layout, I guess it would work. But
hey, that's a good idea.
Mm-hmm. And what's the blue box for? The wires come off these 2 hunks of plastic and go into this blue box in the picture that he's got.
Let me check that. That's probably the.
Do you not remember? Do you not remember a blue box?
I don't remember a blue box. No, but I will look.
Okay. Well, it would be right there beside your detectors. You would.
Oh, that's the battery box. That's you power the LEDs need powered by batteries.
And what color is it?
It's actually black, but it does look blue on that picture.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
How'd you find out about it?
I was watching one of Uncle Dave's old videos, one of his lives, here probably about a month ago, and his talking detector went off. I thought, man, that'd be really cool. So I just did a web search, and there was one that was commercially available, but the company went out of business. So that was the first one I found, but they were no longer available. And then the Google machine just popped this up on eBay. So I thought, I'll give that a try.
It's called DJ's Electronics. DJHayes Electronics.
Yeah, out of Kingston, Pennsylvania.
Is that why you bought it? Because it's a fellow Pennsylvania guy?
No, but I won't lie. That made it even better.
Okay.
Wow. Keep it.
But he's a really good guy. When I first got it, the software would throw like a defect every like 4 or 5 times that the train went through, which I thought was too many. So I emailed him and asked him if there was any way I could tune it. He said, well, I just need to change the program. So he whipped up a new program and emailed it to me, and now it does throw detections far less frequently. But
okay.
Yeah.
I wonder it says he sold 884 items, but not necessarily of these.
He has other stuff for sale too. But
Tom, don't you have some sort of speedometer thing?
I have the AccuTrack speedometer, but that's not something you could. I mean, it's probably very, very similar technology, but
I thought Tom was going to say that's not something you play with.
no, it's not something you would, that like the way that this thing is built, it's like a big plastic U that fits over the track. So
yeah.
there's no way to disguise the one I have. It's not
Oh, okay.
it's not for it's not really for operations, it's more for speed matching.
Yeah. Oh,
locomotives.
okay. Cool.
What's it called? What's the name of that company?
I think is it AccuLights or something?
I think it's AccuRail or AccuTrax maybe or something.
Yeah,
like
but
that.
I think they're out of business.
I think
really?
that was the first one that came up when I was doing my web search. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, they're like green, aren't they, Tom? Something like that, I want to say. Or
It's like a clear black plastic,
Oh,
and then
I'm
it's
wrong.
got green lettering.
oh, that's maybe what it was. Yeah, I've seen those before. Those are pretty. Yeah, like you said, they're more for just the speed matching or the novelty of knowing how fast you're going.
So, Brad, I've got a question for you.
Okay.
Now, keep in mind, there's tens of thousands of people listening, maybe hundreds of thousands of people.
Holy moly.
Wow, that makes me a little nervous.
Yeah, me too.
You always claim like you're not very good at electronics, but every time I turn around, you're doing some other electronic project. Do you
I don't know if I ever claimed I was. I don't like computers that much, but you can't avoid
you like them.
Yeah,
you can't avoid using them.
You seem to be a master at it.
Yeah, like I never used any computer stuff on my layout, and you're using all kinds of computer stuff on it. So
I'm pretty impressed with it, actually.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'm very.
Yeah, I do. I mean, there are some. I like electronics. I just Windows-based computers just frustrate the hell out of me a lot of times. And actually, Apple stuff does too. But
you're on a computer.
So just all computers frustrate the heck out of you, but you continue to delve into this computer stuff. Are you kind of like Scott? Where regardless of the fact that you've built a spectacular layout, you're constantly looking for reasons to tear it out just so you can start again?
I do like new challenges. Yeah.
There you go.
All right.
For instance, the last time I built Benchwork, I swore I would never do it again. But thanks to your help, I've started building Benchwork again.
Yeah. Did you use the T girders like I said? No.
I used.
No. No. Lionel, how would you do this? Well, let me draw you a diagram. Very technical. It took me a couple hours to draw this diagram.
I thought maybe you went to drafting school like Scott did after I saw that drawing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, this is how I did it with T girders. And it's like, oh man, that's cool. I'm going to use L girders. Well, then what are you asking me for?
Because you said if you'd have any questions, fire them my way. And I did actually used L girders on the front edge because I want to be able to screw my fascia boards to the L girder. It wouldn't have worked as well with a T girder, but I did use T in the back.
And see, I will use them on my next layout because my first S-scale layout, I did use the L girders, and they were great because you don't have to worry about those legs on the front of your layout.
Mm-hmm. So you're gonna use L girders again? Is that what you're saying?
Yep, I will use them again. The only reason I didn't on this layout, I was starting out building it modular, and
gotcha.
that ended.
What is it that you like more about T girders, Lionel? I've been meaning to ask you about that.
Well, it's just the way I built my layout. My layout, I didn't I used L brackets off the wall for starters.
Mm-hmm.
And then I laid T girder on top of that, because you can stand on that. You can have like an 8-foot span and stand on it, and it'll never bend ever.
Nope.
And so like on a 20-foot wall, I had 2 L brackets off the wall holding up the layout.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, the L brackets.
Well, yeah, and then I laid on top of that. I lay these T brackets, right, rather than an L bracket, and then
that's the only way to do it.
Yeah, and my fascia is deeper. Like my minimum on my fascia is like 10 inches. So then I have risers that go up from there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can, if I want to have a valley or something, I can cut down on the fascia, or some places the fascia was maybe 14 inches high, but you can build in shelves in there. And I have a picture, I think, of one of the shelves I built. I'll send it to you. And, so you do that. And
if you look at my page, that's what I'm doing is the same exact thing on that new section.
Are you? You went with T girders?
Yeah, that's the only way I build them. I thought you were talking about the L brackets off the wall. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
When you first said that, because that is cool, but
it's like a cantilever kind of, right?
Yeah. That way you don't have legs on the front of your layout.
Yeah, which is the only way to go. But
Yep.
but Brad,
yes,
I'm going to tell you this, and you're not going to be happy for me. You should have finished your basement first.
I know. I was in a hurry to get building. I know.
And then even on the new part, you still didn't do it. You just fastening it right to the cement wall.
It's starting to sound a whole lot like Brad's not listening.
No, he's not.
It's not. It is not fastened to the wall. It's in that new part yet.
Don't worry, Brad. I have an unfinished basement, and I have legs in the front of my layout, and I hate those legs. Wish I could fix it.
Yeah. Now there's always something you wish you would have done differently. For sure.
Yeah.
Yep. It wouldn't be model railroading.
To Lionel's credit, that is something I thought of after listening to the podcast. I'm like, doggone it, I should have done that. I'm just going to tear it out. Yeah,
there you go.
Tear it out and redo it.
No, I said before, I was lucky. 100 years ago, I was at this guy's layout in Detroit, and his layout room was as nice as his rec room. And I thought, when I build my layout room, it's going to be finished. It's going to be as nice as my rec room, and it's going to have this layout in it. And then I went with the L bracket. I don't know how I came up with the L bracket idea, other than I hated legs at the front of the layout and that kind of stuff. So nothing special. That's it. We're going to stop now because we still did an hour and a half, and we weren't going to.
But we figured out about the talking decoder.
We have a lot to talk about for sure.
Well, we always do. This is we talked about talking decoders. We talked about Scott's gambling problem. We talked.
We found out you can take a cruise from New Jersey.
Yeah, he's taking his wife on a cruise on a garbage scow.
You can drive to Pennsylvania from down south and then cruise back south to Bermuda.
Yeah, we have another station that won't be finished by Springfield.
And you know, it is weird. Bermuda's almost like straight off the Carolina coast.
Yeah, you could just fly there straight over from Greenville.
But I got to drive up to New Jersey.
What's the range of a King Air?
Yeah, you could fly there.
Yeah, exactly.
You could fly there. Yeah, it's only 900 miles from Charleston to
Bermuda. Instead, you're going to take the SS Bada Bing over there.
And you could have taken your 40-foot ocean yacht there.
It's 60 feet. It's
60. I'm sorry.
Did you sell it?
Not yet.
Attaboy, don't sell it. I still haven't had a ride on it either yet.
We will.
Right after you take the bus trip to Tallis.
Yeah, exactly.
I have good reason why I wasn't able to do it.
You're busy. I know.
No, but this year's more wide open.
Okay. So we'll make the plans right now. Next September of 2025.
You want to do it then? September or October?
Either one. I'll leave those
later. Go a little later. It's too hot in September.
Yeah.
I like it hot. I like it hot.
Okay.
Some like it hot.
The bus does not like it hot.
You don't have air conditioning in that?
Yeah, but still, you don't want to make it work harder than it has to, just to have fun and make it.
You sound like my friend Alan. Years ago, we had a horrible snowstorm where the snow was super wet. And, it was even hard for your snowblower to move the snow. But the snow was like super wet. And he had like about a 40-foot driveway, and I had my big driveway, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm doing I finally get my snow cleared out. And a couple of days later, I'm talking to him, and I said, holy moly, thank God we've got snow blowers, because I didn't. And he says, I didn't use mine. And I'm like, why not? Oh, well, I didn't want to overwork it.
Oh my God. No,
sounds like a guy who goes, well, I don't want to take my bus in September because the air conditioning will be on. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it will. That's what it's there for. What are you talking about? The bus when they sold you this bus, did they say to you, don't drive it over 80-degree weather because it won't, even regardless of the fact that you're paying $1 bazillion for this bus? Don't drive it over 80-degree weather because it can't handle it. Is that what they said?
You need to pamper it.
They must have seen you. They must have seen you coming from a distance. They must have seen you coming from a distance.
From at least the corner.
Yeah, holy moly! Sell them that one. Sell them the green one. Sell them the brown one.
I'll have to tell you that story one day. Boy, did I fool them.
Okay. That's it. We're done. How many times did we do the commercial? Rapido Trains.
Your fast track to model railroading fun.
If it's N, if it's HO, the fast track is Rapido.
Kelly, can you give out our email address?
Yes, I can give out the email address. You can reach us at modelerslife@gmail.com. That's modeler with one L like microtrain lines, not two L's like Williamson.
Ooh,
That wasn't bad.
well done.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
I like that one.
Yeah, I did
Okay,
too.
that's good. I'm
Yeah.
glad. And if you like,
I like that.
and if you like that, and if you didn't catch the email address, you can just go to our website, amodelerslife.com, and scroll down and see the picture of the moderately agitated mailboy in a particularly agitated state. And just click on that picture and boom, the address is filled in for you. And let's see what else. Oh, yeah. If you like this podcast, which was free on Monday, and you like twice as much podcasting every week, Tom, do you like twice as much podcasting every week?
I sure do.
If you'd like twice as much podcasting every week, and on Tuesday, for just a few cents a day, that's our paid channel where we have people that support the podcast by paying for the Tuesday show. And for just a few cents a day, you can get twice as much podcasting a week. That's our down home channel. That's our cousins coming over for dinner channel. It's much more relaxed, much more laid back, a little less formal than this one.
Yeah, that's where the fiddle player is.
Yeah, that's where the fiddle player is. We have on that particular podcast, we have some guys that are in a symphony orchestra. We have some guys that have gambling problems that won't drive them. We occasionally have a preacher stop by, and we have Kelly, and that's
yeah.
Jeez.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. You're an integral part of the program.
I know.
And we have Bradd, the stubby professor, who doesn't like computers, but constantly is
Conquers them.
Yeah, constantly is fighting with computers.
I think that's it, Scott. I think you hit on something. I like to beat them into submission until they do what I want them to do.
You know what I hate about them? You can't take them apart and figure out what makes them work.
Yeah.
Or you
That's
can.
true.
You can. You just never get it back together.
I was going to say you
could
take it apart once.
Yeah, but once you take it apart, you will not figure out what makes it go.
Yeah, because it quits working when you take it apart.
It's like my transmission went out on my truck, and it was all to do with the computer.
Oh, I hate that too.
What year's your truck?
2021.
Wow, time to get a new one.
Yep. You know what we had to do? We had to take it's got a closed transmission. You can't check the fuel or the fluid in it.
Mm-hmm.
So what we had to do is take the line from the filter off, and we took out the little thing in between there, so the fluid will just flow all the time, not when the computer says it needs it.
Oh, you took the little thing off, so the fluid would flow all the time.
Jigger.
Okay, yeah, right, exactly.
The little valve.
Right.
Yeah, the little. I don't know what you call it, but if you don't have it, it just continuously flows.
Is that the truck you had at Tom Stock? Wow,
the 4-wheel drive one.
Okay.
Wonder if it happened when it was when he high centered it, leaving the parking lot.
Yeah.
That could have possibly been what happened.
You know what? We'd still be there, except for
my determination.
No,
I did. We can do this. We can do this.
We would still be there if I hadn't got behind the wheel.
Oh yeah,
and
it's all about you.
Exactly. Well, you were the one that high centered the thing off there, and you're like, you got your foot buried in the floorboard trying to get it off there.
No.
I said, smoke coming out of the thing. I said, get out.
Everybody was leaving. So we can't do this. We can't. I said, no, we got to think positive. Just help me push. And
I said, get out. And I got behind the wheel. And you had the wheel cranked all the way over to the right.
But when you see a road level
And I
your
turned the
parking
wheel.
lot.
I turned the wheel 15 degrees to the left and just raised the body up just enough that we could get the truck out of there.
Yeah, if it wasn't for my man Dave, man, he's a hoss, isn't he?
Dave,
Yeah.
did you not just hear what I said?
I didn't barely remember you being there.
Well, I saved the day.
You did. You saved it.
Lionel was the hero.
Yeah.
I was.
Always will be, always is.
The unsung hero.
Yep.
With my bad legs and everything, I hobbled around and said, I'll do it. Let me do it.
Get out of the damn way. I'm doing it.
Yeah. So, and then if you like our Patreon channel, but you'd like to go to the T-shirt level and enter the contest that's sweeping the globe, hey, dude, where's my shirt? You just go to for just a few cents more per month, you can be in that particular contest, which is very popular. And it's not whether or not you'll get your shirt, it's when will you get your shirt. That's the exciting part of the contest. And I think that's it. Chris, can I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
Have you ever wanted a T-shirt with a hot dog on it?
I dream about it day and night.
I do too.
Well, if you go to Midwest Model Railroad, and their URL is midwestmodelrr.com, and go across the navigation bar to Other, and click on the drop-down menu, you'll see AML Shop, and boom, you're in a wonderland of AML merchandise: hats, hoodies, T-shirts, mugs.
Do they show that hot dog T-shirt with the different colors with the hot dog on it, or you just pick the color and then you get the hot dog?
I'm not sure if I understand the question.
We all know what the hot dog looks like, but I'd like to see the hot dog on the T-shirt.
Yeah,
and I don't know if the advertisement it just shows the color of the shirt, right? Not the shirt with a hot dog on it.
Well,
Did someone effort that?
All right, Brad, what's your favorite color hot dog shirt?
The maroon one,
All right.
the dark reddish.
When you go to the website and pull up the hot dog shirt, does it show that hot dog on the maroon shirt?
Why are you
I
asking?
can't remember.
I'd like to know what the hot dog looks like.
Well, then type in Midwest Model Railroad into your computer. Go across the navigation bar to Other. Come down to the AML Shop, which is the fourth one. Go to AML Shirt. Go to AML Shirts.
Yeah.
And every model you can think of is 5% off.
Oh.
And then you go to your AML Shirts. And there they are. And you scroll through. Blah, blah, blah. There's all different shirts. There's one with me at a couch. And let's see, where's the hot dog one? I can't.
It does have pictures of all four colors. You can get it with black, blue, maroon,
Okay, that's
and
what
green.
I was wanting to know.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted one, and I got a black one because I like the black.
If you look right down below the main picture of the shirt, you can click on any of the four colors.
I don't see that. Oh, there it is. There it is. There, it's in black. And then if you click
Thanks
down.
for clarifying that for me.
You're welcome.
Well, why couldn't you do that yourself? I'm looking at them now. There's green. There's
Because I'm
maroon.
doing something.
You're busy. That's right. I forgot. You're busy. Yeah, you're always busy. You're busier than everybody else.
Combined, even, right?
Yeah. Combined. Yeah.
Even when my hands are tied behind my back.
Well, we don't need to get into that. That's between you and your wife.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was rude. There.
You brought it up, buddy.
I did. My fault.
All right. That's it. I think we've covered everything, have we not?
Yes.
I think so.
All right.
We got Tom's car. We got Scott's plethora of problems. We got the talking detector. Yeah.
And that was the main thing.
Yeah. It was the start. I think this is just mostly just a potpourri of, we don't really do the fans anymore. So it's not that, we had a subject and I knew we would make a conversation out of it, which I hoped would end like 40 minutes ago.
And here we are.
And yet here we are. Exactly.
And we all got together.
Which is fun. So who should we have take us out of here?
I have a good one if you want.
Oh, do you?
Whoever you want. Yeah.
Okay. Well, then put it on a piece of paper and slide it across the table. All right, Brad. Are you ready?
I'm ready, Lionel.
So remember, A Modeler's Life podcast is considered marginally adequate by 6 out of 10
N-scalers who build layouts in unfinished basements.
Transportation for AML guests provided by Diamond Limousine. Diamond Limousine, where all of our vehicles are true diamonds in the rough.
It's another Lincoln Homer.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Perfect.
Did I tell you or what, huh?
You did.
Yeah.